Hey guys, so last time I talked to you, I had just gotten a positive ovulation test, and now I am 4 DPO, days past ovulation, and so I wanted to give you an update on what's gone on the last few days because it's been kind of like okay, but a little bit stressful and a little bit emotional. So basically, I got the positive ovulation test, and the next morning I took another one and got another positive. And that whole day I had like pretty, I would say, uncomfortable cramping, mostly on my right side, but like lower abdomen where I think my ovaries are, but a little bit on the left too. So I wasn't sure if it was ovulation cramping because it was kind of on both sides, but I'm guessing that has something to do with the Clomid. I don't know exactly. I wouldn't say it was really painful. I would just say it's uncomfortable and I noticed it. It wasn't like a cramping I'd really felt before. It kind of felt like, you know, when you're gonna get like a cramp in the bottom of your foot and you start to feel it and it starts to feel like, oh, that's gonna be really hurt in like 2 seconds. That's kind of what it felt like, but it never got really, really bad. It just like felt like it was about to start cramping really bad. So I don't know if that means, you know, I was ovulating and it just hurt more because the Clomid makes your ovulation more painful, or if I have like some sort of cyst that was hurting during ovulation. I know Clomid can cause ovarian cysts, and you can just have ovarian cysts. And as I've told you guys before, I've never had an ultrasound of my ovaries, so I don't know if I have cysts or not. I haven't had any pain that made me think I did, but yeah, that's, you know, kind of how ovulation was. So I was almost positive that I ovulated because I got the positive test, plus I had all that cramping. And then the next day, the test was more negative. And I had run out of the digital sticks. I just had like the first response with the 2 lines, and it was definitely lighter than it was the week before, or I'm sorry, the day before. And I'll show you guys because I kept them all. So I'll show you like the progression in a little bit. But it got lighter, and then I ran out of those, and I didn't really want to spend more money on ovulation tests this month because I had started testing at like cycle day 11 or 10, and I had gone all the way until I ovulated around like I think I did ovulated on day 19 this month. Actually, let me look. Yeah, last month I ovulated cycle day 18. This month it was cycle day 19. And my doctor said Clomid can make you ovulate later, and it was only 1 day, and that's like within the realm of what your body could normally do without Clomid. So I'm not really necessarily attributing it to Clomid, but maybe it had some impact on it. So I ovulated on cycle day 19, so cycle day 20 I was still testing, and so anyway, I didn't take any more ovulation tests. And then over the next 3 days, I continued to take my temperature, and I still am. But over the next 3 days, my temperature went up, and my Fertility Friend app showed that it thought that I ovulated on Thursday, which was like very satisfying when that happened because I thought I ovulated on Thursday due to cramping. The ovulation test said they thought it was Thursday, and then the app said Thursday as well. So that was like, okay, sometimes the signs that your body gives you are accurate and make sense in what's going on in the big picture. So that was really nice to not be like wondering too much. I'm pretty sure I ovulated on Thursday. So I called my doctor the next morning, and well, I called the nurse, and they had told me to call when I got the positive OPK because they wanted me to come in for progesterone labs a week later. And so I called to tell them, and the nurse called me back, and like, you know, I'm very particular. I expect a lot of people, so this may be perfectly reasonable. But when the nurse called me back, I told her, I said in my message, like, I took Clomid for the first time, even though they should have that in the file. I was told when I got a positive ovulation test to call you guys, so I could schedule labs for progesterone, and so I'm calling. And so she called back and she said, you know, I'm calling you back. And I said, okay, I got the positive OPK. and I took Clomid, and I just want to schedule the labs. And she said, oh, so are you gonna have sex? And I was just like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I literally was speechless because, first of all, like, this is a nurse, and so, like, yeah, you can say, are you gonna have sex? But like, I just the way she said it, I was just like, you're a professional. Like, that's not how you should be talking to the patients. I don't know. It just was like a weird vibe. And then second of all, I was like, you're the nurse for a reproductive endocrinologist, and I'm taking Clomid to help me ovulate so I can get pregnant. Yeah, I'm gonna have sex. Like, that's the plan. And I think eventually, after a few seconds, when I like processed what she had said and got over my shock, I was like, yeah, that's the plan. So, like, this is just another reason why I just want to find a new reproductive endocrinologist. And like, not one comment from one nurse is not a reason to switch, but there's like been an accumulation of things that's just made me be like, I don't have a lot of confidence. Like, I would not be confident doing IVF with this doctor's office. Not at all. Like, I wouldn't feel good about it. I wouldn't feel like they knew what they were doing at all. So the fact that I'm taking Clomid, like, a lot of times people's OBGYN prescribes them Clomid. They don't even go to a reproductive endocrinologist until after they've done 3 rounds or something of Clomid. So I feel okay with them for now, and I'm hopeful that I'll get pregnant while I'm just doing Clomid, so I don't have to worry about finding a new doctor. But I am on the lookout. I've asked around a little bit to see if anybody has a referral. So I am looking. So basically, I did schedule labs for this coming Thursday, which is a week after ovulation. So hopefully I'll get a good progesterone level, or they'll see that my progesterone's low and they'll know to prescribe me a supplement next time, or I don't know if they'll even give it to me this time if it's low, just in case I'm pregnant. I don't know how that works, so I'll find out. But she did say if I go for labs at 7 in the morning, that they'll be processed same day, and she'll call me later that day with the results. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And yeah, that will further confirm ovulation, even though like I'm the most confident this month that I've ever been that I actually ovulated. Symptoms wise, besides the cramping, I've been like a little bit more emotional, but you know, sometimes that happens during like leading up to my period anyway. I have had like a little bit of cramping in like my cervix area yesterday and today, and a little bit in the area where I ovulated today. So again, like, I'm not sure if that's because of the Clomid or because of ovulation, or what it means, or it may mean nothing. It may just be like hormones make you cramp randomly. So I don't know. I'm hoping that I don't know that it would be a good sign because it's too soon for implantation. So I don't think there's any symptoms for pregnancy at this point. But I'm hoping it's not a bad sign. Also, I have been like a little bit dizzy. I've noticed a little bit dizzier than I normally would be the days after I stopped taking Clomid up until like now, the past few days. And so I'm definitely going to talk to my doctor about that before I do another round, because I know if you have blurred vision, she said you can't keep taking Clomid. And I didn't have blurred vision, but I like felt very lightheaded and kind of like woozy sometimes. And like, I did have like a little bit of like, I don't know, weird things with my eyes. It wasn't blurry, but it was like little like, not floater things, but like spots, I guess. So it could be from a number of things, but I'm definitely going to mention it to my doctor next time I talk to her. One other thing that we did this month, and we actually did other months too, I think last month was the first month actually, is we used Pre-Seed, which is like basically like a lube that's not bad for sperm. And it comes in like a little tube, and then it has these little like syringe things that you're supposed to like take a certain amount and like put it up inside you, I guess. I don't know exactly. I didn't even read all the instructions, but like, that's not how I wanted to use it. I didn't want to put like a big glob in me. We just used it like how you'd normally use lube, and Clomid makes you like a little more dry. So I wasn't like, I definitely had like you know, is more like watery, like egg white, tending towards like egg white CM, but not as much as I usually would leading up to ovulation. So it definitely was good to have that, and I'd really recommend like having that on hand if you're taking Clomid, because it may come in handy because you have to try a bunch and you don't want it to be uncomfortable. So now we're in another 2-week wait. I am a little bit nervous that the cramping that I've been having is like the beginnings of me getting my period. The last 2 months I've had a shorter luteal phase, like from ovulation to getting my period has only been like, you know, 8 or 9 days, and it's supposed to be 12 to 14 days or more. So I'm hoping that's not what that is. The cramping's kind of gone away today. It's like a lot less than it was. But I just didn't know, like, you know, 3 and 4 DPO, you shouldn't really be having cramping, I don't think. I guess it could be cramping from, you know, ovulation still. I don't know. So I'm hoping that that has nothing to do with that. My doctor did say that Clomid can make your luteal phase longer, and so don't get excited if you don't get your period, because you may not be pregnant. You just have a longer luteal phase and you're also not pregnant. And so, you know, if it makes it longer, I'm hoping that's because it makes your progesterone go up more, which makes it more likely that you get pregnant. So I think it'll be hard not to be hopeful that I'm pregnant if that happens, but we'll see. I'm not planning on testing at this point and just waiting to get a period. But obviously if I get to like the past when I should have gotten my period, then I'll probably take a test, because that's when it would be able to show up positive. So I'll at least wait till like 14 DPO at this point, I think, unless I have some like really crazy symptoms and I'm like, whoa, I've never felt like this before, and I get like hopeful and can't resist. So I do have to say, the day after I ovulated, I took an ovulation test in the morning. And then the next morning I didn't take another one, and I haven't taken one since. And that has been like such a huge relief. Like, I've still been taking my temperature, which is not a big deal. Like, you're half asleep, doing the chart to like follow when your ovulation happened and everything. Like, I kind of like that. But the OPKs are really like, I don't know why, they really stress me out. I don't like doing them. I think it's like the waiting and the peeing in a cup, and it's just like, they're expensive, and it's just, it takes like several minutes in the morning when you're first waking up, and I just feel like it's not a good way to start my day. Like, I don't feel good when I do it. But I don't want to like wait and do it later, because I just want to get it out of the way. And I know that actually somebody commented on my last video that sometimes the OPKs are better with, when you do the urine in the afternoon or like late morning, and I would prefer to do that so I don't have to do it when I first wake up, but like I would have to do it at work then, and I don't know that I really want to take the OPKs at like my bathroom at work. So I guess I could do it like in the evening when I get home, but then you have to hold your pee for a certain number of hours. So anyway, things to worry about for next cycle. We'll figure it out when we get there. I'm gonna go show you my ovulation test that I took this month so you guys can see the progression. So here are all my tests. On the left, it's the first response with the 2 lines. On the right, it's the clear blue, just the regular one, not with the one with the flashing smiley. And these are just all the sticks when you pop them out. So I'll show you guys this one first. You can see there's like maybe hints of a line at different points, and then there's absolutely nothing there, and then all of a sudden it's positive, and then it's a little lighter and a little lighter still. So that was the last one I took. And then these ones, it's faded a little bit more, so you can't really see as well, but there's barely anything, maybe not even like a line. And then you get to the 28th at night, and there's a line. At the time, if you guys go back and watch my last video, you'll see that the line on the left there was a lot darker right after I took it. And then in the morning, it was, I would say, just as dark or maybe even darker. So yeah, I'm glad to be done with all these tests. I'm going to throw them away and not worry about testing for ovulation for at least another few weeks. And I hope you guys found this helpful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Thank you guys for following along with my journey. If anybody has had cramping 3 or 4 DPO, Clomid or not taking Clomid, I'm interested to hear like what happened to you that cycle. Did you get pregnant? Is it possible that that could be a good sign? I'd love to hear some good stories about that if anybody has one. And I will be back for another video probably after I get my progesterone labs next week and let you know what those numbers were, and also if I'm going to take a test if I do decide to test, but we'll see how we're feeling at that point. Oh, the other thing I just want to say really quickly is like, so overall my Clomid experience, it wasn't that bad. I think the hardest part about it for me personally was not knowing if, like, I was really fearful that the Clomid was going to make my, like, do something bad to my ovaries. And so when I had like the really strong ovulation pain, I was kind of thinking like, is this like, what is it? Ovarian over hyperstimulation or whatever can happen with Clomid? Like, is this turning into that? Is something bad gonna happen? And so the pain wasn't that bad. It was just more like the pain made me scared that something bad was happening. So, you know, I think it's all fine. But I think next cycle, assuming this time it doesn't work, I really do want to do monitoring with the Clomid, because I just want to know, like, what's my lining look like? What do my ovaries look like? How big did the egg get? Like, exactly when I ovulated, you know, all that kind of stuff. I think it would be helpful. Even, you know, and my doctor said it's not more likely to get pregnant if you do monitoring with your medicated cycles, which I realize that. But at the same time, I think there's good information that you get from monitoring that you might not otherwise have that might help you be more successful in the future. So that's, you know, what I'm gonna do next time. I think, again, I'm gonna talk to my doctor. Also, I don't know, I might ask her if I can do Femara instead, because I've just heard a lot that PCOS, for people with PCOS, Femara is more effective. And so I do want to talk to her about that too. Maybe I'll switch, although Clomid did make me ovulate, but I heard it can thin your lining. So I don't know. It's so like unknown. Like, you don't know the right decisions with this stuff. You don't. So you just kind of have to go for it, and I'm glad I'm doing something rather than nothing, but you still second guess yourself and are like, is this what I should be doing? Is this gonna get me there the quickest? Is this gonna be the healthiest way to get there? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.